Yo, it's Elliot with Yo Elliot. You got strength questions, and I got your answer. Yo, Elliot. Today we got a question from our buddy Break661. It's a very important question, as he describes. Break says that he's 29 years old, has been training for about 2 years, enjoys working out, but he suffers from a mild form of cerebral palsy, and that causes the entire left side of his body to become real tight, and as a consequence, he limps when he walks. Breaks is asking for my advice on supporting his quality of life. He says that he's been doing some exercises to help correct the imbalance, but all it does is make the pain worse. Breaks goes on and really is just asking for what he should do to improve the quality of his life. So obviously I can't answer the question with regard to how to correct your cerebral palsy. I mean, there are scientists that are dedicated to figuring this stuff out, physios. I'm a personal trainer, I'm a strength coach. Although I have a depth of knowledge in the area, there's nothing I can do, my friend, except offer you this perspective. The things that we cannot fix in our lives, especially things that are obvious to other people, we should find a way to feature. That which you cannot fix, you feature. You highlight that thing. That way it's not an elephant in the room. That way it's not that 1,000-pound gorilla that everybody sort of looks at and pretends is not there. You know that awkward feeling when someone who obviously is somewhat different than the rest of us walks into a room and everybody pretends as if, well, nothing's any different. But that individual and everybody else feels that tension associated with that cognitive dissonance. Whoa, what's going on here? Sometimes someone will come out and say, hey, what's up with your leg? Usually if they become more comfortable with you, and then you can bring your personality out and offer a reason, but also offer a part of your heart that melts that person's resistance against your obvious difference. Once we get to know each other beyond our physical colors, our physical limitations, whatever we look like on the outside, once we get to know each other, once the hearts connect, there's a melting of barriers, and sometimes people will forget completely that you have a limp. So what I'm saying is feature it so that it gets out of the way immediately. There's many different ways you can do that. You know, one of the ways that I feature what has been a handicap for me in my life growing up, especially where I grew up in a mostly white suburb of New York City, was my mixed or ambiguous race. Right? My parents are from Belize, where it's a culture and a country where many different races mix. So growing up, people would look at me and say, what are you? Are you black? Are you white? What's going on here? I used to be very uncomfortable about that. And I started to think that everybody was looking at me wherever I went, and that's the questions that they were asking. Until I decided to feature it, not only in my mind, but bring it out and start the conversation with people so that no one's uncomfortable about it. The minute you bring out or you draw attention to, before they do, before the thickness of discomfort grows, when you draw attention to it, you get that barrier out of the way. And that barrier, now being out of the way, will allow you to expose your true character, expose the goodness in your heart, expose the love that you have to offer and also receive from other people. So when I say, don't fix it, don't worry about fixing it, feature it, I mean take that tool that you now have, that gift that you've been offered, because every challenge is a gift, because through every challenge we grow. Take that gift, take that challenge, and use it as a means for personal development. And when I say personal development, I mean deep within your heart, your consciousness, and your character. And bring that light into the lives of other people. Hope that perspective helps. I hope it was understandable. Sometimes I get a bit metaphorical with my speech, but that is how I would invite you to approach it. This is who I am. I'm not going to hide it. In fact, I'm going to feature it. Once we get that out of the way, let's have a relationship. Talk to you next time. Yo, Elliot.